Nah, that's cool. We cool with that, right? We cool.
Yes.
Cool with that.
That is himbo energy. Yes. Yes. That is a you captured the essence perfectly. You captured the essence perfectly, dude.
Just
My man said LGBTQ, like as in like he said it like it's a slur, dude. I swear to God.
wondering, do you support like a type of LGBTQ?
LGB.
Oh, LGBTQ. Nah, that's cool. We cool with that, right? We cool.
Yes.
Oh, he just came out of prison? Oh God. Oh, I don't even want to. Himbo energy outlandish. He just got out of jail too. Okay, well that's a little, I don't know, dude. I see tatted white guy coming out of jail. See, that's racism. That's anti-white racism, and I was about to partake in it by being like, I don't know. At least he's cool with the LGBTQ though. Are you going to get to Scoop? White House budget will not include key Biden campaign pledges such as the public option, prescription drugs reform, or student debt relief per sources. White House squarely focuses on $4 trillion in jobs and infrastructure and families plans. This is the least surprising news of the day. We'll get to it in a little bit. But yeah. He went to jail for beating up cops? No way. That's crazy. Don't do that. Obviously, that's illegal. And wow. That's a crazy thing he did and bad. But actually don't do that because you'll die. Especially if you're black. Definitely do not do that. Like,
You're fucking awesome, dude. Glad
Okay.
you got some leftist takes to Twitch.
so bad. Thank God I don't live in your shit country run by actual morons. Okay, fuck you, dude. All right. Don't make me go America on your ass, baby.
Ever coming
God
back,
damn it.
Donnie?
Okay. Where the fuck was I? Should we start off with Cuomo or should we go to, I was going to just dive into fucking Israel Palestine. I'm just holding off on it because like, I feel like every time I go back to Israel, it's like, it's done. That's all we're talking about today. And there's a lot of fucking thoughts I have, especially because I'm just going to fucking call out some homies right now. Okay.
Sag.
During the 11 days of violence from the Israeli government, violence that resulted in the murdering of nearly 300 Palestinians, including 65 children, okay? I did not see a single one of these Hollywood celebrities that I follow or that follow me back. A lot of them did not post about that at all. They were fucking quiet, dude. They were real quiet, awfully quiet. And by the way, these guys aren't like Jewish people or anything like that. I'm not talking about like, even though if you're Jewish, it's not a fucking monolith. You're not supposed to like unconditionally and uncritically defend Israel. That would be psychotic. There were, of course, celebrities who did. Bella Hadid, Zayn Malik, Gigi Hadid, like celebrities that have some connection to Palestine or are Muslim themselves, that sort of thing. So I saw crickets on the timeline, okay? And unlike, and this is something that I will say about Palestine in general, like any kind of fucking sentiment expressed, any kind of solidarity expressed towards the Palestinian people is still good because it's in the very early stages of the Western world paying attention to the Palestinian struggle for the first time ever. So like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, why aren't you posting about BLM? Because like that reached terminal velocity already. And then it started getting commoditized and fucking bastardized immediately, neutered, all that sort of stuff. So now it's like not a problematic thing to fucking post hashtag BLM or throw up a black fist. IGN did it, which I respected a lot. And I talked about it extensively. Now, having said that, aside from like the obvious people like Mark Ruffalo, Sarah Silverman, these like very thoughtful, very empathetic celebrities that are also activists who are routinely in these circles, I I didn't see it from like regular fucking normie celebs at all beyond like, you know, Bella Hadid and stuff. However, I did start seeing something new on my timeline recently. This thing called a blue square. Now, the black square in solidarity with Black Lives Matter was something that I criticized at the time, if you remember. Because I thought it was fucking whack, slacktivist bullshit that was unproductive and dumb as fuck. Now I'm seeing some people post like stand against anti-Semitism and posting a blue square. Now I find it's just starting. It's just starting. The blue square shit is just starting. It hasn't like happened yet. I've only seen it. I've only seen it recently, but you might start seeing it. But now that is a post that I guess is to show that you stand against anti-Semitism, and it's like, the fuck? Of course, we all stand against anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism is disgusting. It's horrible. It has been used to justify the Holocaust and so many other atrocities that the international Jewish community has faced. But I find it rather odd that you would, post a blue square, which is just symbolic anyway. You're not fucking tackling anti-Semitism. I also find it rather funny that it's a literal blue square, which is, of course, most closely associated with the police. So the same people that fucking literally posted black squares to do that like bullshit bottom of the barrel hashtag slacktivism are now posting blue squares immediately after a police state decided to, bomb the living shit out of the people that they have subjected to brutal occupation. So really, really perfect. The blue square is actually really perfect for that with respect to that. Anyway, so, but very nice. No, the blue square wasn't about, it wasn't about Sudan. No, the blue squares that people are posting now are posting about Israel. Or not even Israel, sorry, about anti-Semitism. This is from a while ago. What you're talking about is from 2019. That's not what this is. It's not going to fucking pop off yet. Just wait. It has to be some fucking 4chan shit. Yeah, anyway. Just wait.
One blatant example of how Western
Subi is fucking
Solidarity
great. He's
Palestinians
great,
and
dude. I met him. I met him years ago at VidCon. He's a fucking OG fan. He's the man, and he's been posting on his Instagram nonstop about Palestine.
media favors Israel and vilifies
Thank you for teaching Jews how to feel about anti-Semitism. I assume you will cover all the crimes recently as you did with Black Lives Matter. Says hit women. Boys, do you want to my wonderful Jewish community in here? Do you want this guy hit women to be representative? Is that hit women? My man's name is Hit Women. Account created in 2018. Nice one, Twitch. Anyway.
Palestine is how they report deaths on both sides. For Israelis, they'll say 10 Israelis were massacred by Palestinian rockets. And then for Palestinians, they'll say 10 Palestinians died. Like they just passed out and never woke up. How'd they die, John? One blatant example of...
Damn, bro, this is a fucking... I literally tweeted this exact same thing like yesterday. Anyway, no, he's Subi's good. He's good. He's speaking out a lot about it. Dude, what the fuck? Why don't we support a two-site solution? Okay, shut up. Anyway, so where was I? Yeah, so So I thought it was rather strange that you know, people are just like posting about this stuff, even though listen, and I have to fucking mention this again and again and again so that people don't fucking misunderstand my position. Okay, anti-Semitism, especially in the West, is a fucking gigantic problem. It is. It is a fucking huge problem. Okay, and it is growing. Partially growing as a consequence of weirdo fucking MAGA dudes who are then Nazis and like literally did a Jews will not replace us type fucking tiki torch convention not that long ago in celebration of Donald Trump, who happens to be Bibi Netanyahu's close fucking friend, by the way. Because Bibi Netanyahu is also a far-right nationalist psychopath. Anyway. Having said that, though, I find that are you saying that anti-Semitism isn't an issue? That's not what I'm saying. So you're saying anti-Semitism is not a problem. Again, I love this, dude. I fucking love this. This is it. This is literally the reason. This is literally the reason why this fucking campaign started. I'm sorry. This campaign started straight up so motherfuckers could be like, oh, dude, you're fucking anti-Semitic. Oh, I got it. Oh, you're being anti-Semitic. I got it. Fucking finally. While I'm literally in the process of explaining anti-Semitism is a gigantic fucking problem, like, especially in the West as well, this motherfucker's like, so you're saying you're against, so you're saying anti-Semitism isn't a problem. Of course it is. Okay? Of course it is. This, I'm sorry, is very similar to, are you saying all lives don't matter? Okay? Except the main difference here is that, like, white people in the concept of whiteness, the way we understand it and the way we fucking have talked about it throughout history, is a dominant oppressor, whereas Jewish people are not. Jewish people have historically been oppressed. So using that as a cudgel, as a way to fucking deflect away from the crimes of Israel, I think is fucking disgusting. So that's my 2 cents on the matter. If you had nothing to say about fucking Israel bombing the fuck out of the Gaza Strip and beating the shit out of Palestinians and evicting them and the Israeli occupation, and then fucking the day of the ceasefire, you fucking turn around and you put up a blue square to be like, anti-Semitism is a significant problem and we need to stop it, then you are either duped by other motherfuckers that are smarter than you that duped you into fucking posting that, or you're a fucking coward. Okay? I didn't hear that. I didn't hear a single person fucking bring this shit up. It's so fucked up. It's so fucked up. Why is it fucked up? Because one, you are participating or playing a role in an unironically anti-Semitic concept such as equating the international Jewish community to Israel, okay? You're literally locking Jewish people into defending Israel and saying that they're fucking, that they're, saying that, like, they're all Israel. All Jews represent Israel, and Israel represents all Jews. This is not the case. This is not the truth. There are so many Jews, especially in the fucking West, that are anti-Zionist or against Israel's actions. There are even fucking liberal Zionists that are like, oh, I don't like Bibi Netanyahu. I wish he would go away. Now, there's obviously different reasons for why some people say that. But ultimately, yeah, it's no different. You guys have seen this every day. Take a break from covering Palestine deaths and recount every anti-Semitic crime and apologize for Armenian genocide. Am I doing this right? That is no different than people being like, oh, you're talking about the Palestinian deaths. How about the Armenian genocide? That is literally the same shit. Okay? It's literally the same fucking shit. You're only bringing that up as a deflection. It's also indecent because there are so many people who care about Palestinians from the point of view of humanity, because they're humanitarians. They believe in empathy. They believe in peaceful coexistence and autonomy for all human beings. And then you're making it seem like you're pitting them against like fucking people that are doing anti-Semitic acts against Jews in the West. And that's fucking bullshit, dude. It's such bullshit. Anyway. So that's what really fucking frustrates me. Okay? That really frustrates me. I've seen this and I know that it's going to like pop off soon, and I know that like coming soon to a fucking, internet discourse near you, the way to fucking recreate the narrative, the pro-IDF, pro-Zionism narrative, the way to recapture the attention of Western media is by literally conflating
enjoy your weekend.
Anti-Israel, like conflating criticisms against Israel's violent occupation to anti-Semitism. And this is the way they're going to do it. And there is more legitimate claim for fucking people to say, like, I hate anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism is fucked up because anti-Semitism is an ongoing problem, especially in Western societies. Okay? It is. So that makes it, in my opinion, additionally indecent. It literally makes it additionally fucking indecent to like use a real issue as a way to deflect away from the issues that Israel is engaging in. When Israel and Jews are not married to one another, okay? They're not tied to one another. This is something I stress all the fucking time to people that come into my community, to people that come into my chat. I don't criticize you for being Jewish. That'd be fucking anti-Semitic. I don't have a problem with religious freedom in any capacity. Okay? I criticize people because you come here and you decide to fucking defend Israel's violent actions against Palestinians. That is entirely separate and completely fucking unacceptable. Anyway. So, Tankies use the same tactic when you criticize China, xenophobia. How do we deal with fascist and authoritarians co-opting identity politics? I mean, I laugh at people that say your criticisms of China are xenophobic. Okay? It's fucking stupid. Who gives a shit? Like, who literally gives a shit? Shut up. And also, no one takes Tanky seriously. So, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, you're being ridiculous if you think that, like, there is legitimate, I don't know, if there is, like, legitimate criticisms coming from Tankies that, like, anyone takes seriously. Even Marxist-Leninists don't take other Marxist-Leninists or Stalinists seriously. So, it's like 3 people that you have gotten upset over on the internet, okay? If you're going to get upset over something legitimate. But here's one thing you shouldn't get upset over. It's top of the hour, which means there's a 60-second ad break coming to you right now. After that, I'm going to go into the Al-Aqsa Mosque violence that is already occurring again. Literally not one fucking full day since the ceasefire from Israel, and they're already beating the shit out of people that are at the Al-Aqsa Mosque. So if you like to no longer see the ads, if you want an ad-free broadcasting experience, all you need to do is subscribe. You can do it for $5, or you can subscribe for free by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. Okay? You get a free fucking Twitch Prime, and with your free Twitch Prime, you can use it on me, your favorite broadcaster, streamer, whatever, and fucking enjoy a ad-free broadcasting experience. Here's the fucking Prime now. There it is. Or ad now. Wait, what the fuck? What just happened? Is this a multiplayer ad? What is this? What the fuck? What is this? I have no idea what's going on here right now. Okay, that's very weird. Sorry. I don't know why that's happening. I don't know what the fuck it is. Maybe it's I know that they're doing like new kinds of ads. I tested it before as to see what it was, but usually what used to happen, you get bits of people vote or something. Yeah, but usually what used to happen is I could opt out of that. And I usually every single time I run an ad, I opt out of it. So I don't know why it's like now doing interactive ads.
Almost 2 years since we lost Jeffrey Epstein.
I've done it before, so I'm surprised. Yeah, the 14-year-old Wyoming story is I'm gonna talk about it in a little bit. Hold on. It's just some real freak shit going on in America. Anyway, so yeah. So as far as the latest updates goes from Palestine, Israel Hamas agreed to terms of a ceasefire, which was still kept a secret by Israel. Israeli police then immediately stormed the Al Aqsa Mosque compound and fired tear gas at Palestinians celebrating the ceasefire at their Friday prayers, after their Friday prayers. Here it is, boys. Here's what the Israeli ceasefire looks like to Palestinians. But Hamas, right? Hamas started it, right? Hamas started it, right? So let me tell you something. This is why I was worried about the fucking ceasefire thing. You are a defendant in a GTRP trial today? Dude, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you want me to fucking stop literally what I'm doing, my news coverage, to go and like sit through fucking Grand Theft Auto roleplay court? Are you brain dead? Are you delusional? Is there something wrong with your head? Yeah, let me do fucking fake jury duty in a video game instead of my political news coverage, dude. God damn. So
Hey,
I guess ceasefire, in accordance with Israeli authorities, a ceasefire just means, you know, a ceasing of the rocket fire, not necessarily rubber bullets. I mean, they're still firing that shit. Tear gas canisters can still be fired upon Palestinians. Now, for the record, I need you to understand, there was a ceasefire leading up to this latest bombing campaign by Israel. That ceasefire was broken, or rather violated, by this exact same fucking action, and that's the reason why Hamas gave a 12-day warning to Israel saying, you will not evict or you will not fucking remove Palestinians from Sheikh Jarrah, and you will take your fucking troops away lest we retaliate. Okay? This is exactly how the original thing started. This is exactly how the original exactly how the fucking original conflict, this iteration of the conflict started, dude. They are 100% doing this on purpose. They are 100% doing this on purpose, dude. Here. Look at this fucking riot, dude. Look at this riot that the IDF had to fucking push back against.
Mass Effect 20.
No, they are trying to they are literally what this is right in front of your eyes. I need you to fucking understand. What is happening right in front of your eyes is Israel saying, here's a ceasefire, and then immediately violating that ceasefire by trying to provoke Hamas, or rather the militant wing of Hamas, to retaliate. Okay? This is how you radicalize people into seeing Hamas as their only form of resistance or retaliation. Okay? These people
we are wearing the same shirt.
They're dying. They're dying every fucking day. They're being murdered. They're being brutalized by the Israeli occupation, by the Israeli government. So for them, the only fucking person that like pushes back and at least makes Israel feel a little bit of hurt from their actions is the fucking Hamas's militant wing. So you are, if you want to stop fucking Hamas, or if you want to stop like bombing campaigns that go pretty much nowhere, okay, from the Hamas side at least, then stop doing this shit, okay? Stop.
Thank you for being based.
These people have no retaliation, no recourse, no rights, nothing, dude. Nothing. They have nothing.
Been in this community since October. Thank you for informing me on these issues, Hassel.
This is their everyday existence. They can't even fucking celebrate.
Ceasefire is when you fire tear gas on Palestinians, Pepega.
They can't even celebrate a fucking ceasefire, dude. And the real reason why this ceasefire, I was like skeptical of the ceasefire, and I said it originally, was because I knew some shit like this was going to happen. Imagine celebrating after like the Israeli government fucking murdered nearly 300 of your fellow Palestinian civilians. Like, you're still celebrating because at least it's stopped. You know what I mean? Within the Gaza Strip. All this does, and I've been saying this already, but all this does is make it harder to fucking incorporate Palestinians into whatever the ultimate societal formation of Israel is going to look like. But if you are an ultra-nationalist, far-right, reactionary Zionist, you want that so that you can justify pogroms, so you can justify purging the Palestinians that live within the boundaries of Israel currently. Okay? That's the reason. That's so they don't give a shit. They don't want fucking integration. They don't want anything. They want either complete fucking cultural erasure, and they want to be able to control the entirety of this land, and they've historically always wanted this. And I said before, and I said this already, like even people like Yitzhak Rabin, who are celebrated by liberal progressive Zionists as a more understanding of the Palestinian plight. He is not. Like, these motherfuckers, and that guy literally got assassinated, by the way, by a right-wing Israeli for even dealing with Palestinians and putting together a fucking peace deal. Like, even those people do not want Palestine to exist. They don't want a Palestinian state. There is no two states, okay? They want to control Palestinian territory and keep controlling every part of their fucking lives.
To tell the Palestinians, abandon your fantasy of destroying Israel. Abandon the fantasy that you will conquer Jerusalem.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is facing battles on many fronts. In the Golan Heights, he's dealing with new threats from Iranian forces.
I don't understand how Vice News literally went from like doing coverage at the fucking wall, at the Gaza wall and shit, and like actually speaking truth to power with regards to Israel, to then getting owned by fucking Rupert Murdoch and literally turning around and just interviewing war criminal Bibi Netanyahu. It's crazy to me, dude. What a fucking insane turn of events, dude.
Absolutely insane that so much of this boils down to evangelicals wanting to fulfill their
Syria.
end times prophecy.
He's also facing international condemnation from the killing of Palestinians at the Gaza border.
Hey, remember, boys, this is from 2018. This fucking happened. I just want you guys to remember. This happened because Palestinians dared to demonstrate at the fucking fence, okay? At the Israeli fence. They murked the fuck out of Palestinian civilians. They killed, what, like 65 people in one fucking day, including a medic that they then turned around and lied and said was working with Hamas and deceptively edited footage to make it seem like that person deserved to be sniped. When not a single one of those people deserved to be fucking murdered by snipers. This was a peaceful, absolutely peaceful protest. No arms, Nothing. And they sniped like 65 Palestinians in one fucking day. Women and children. And back then, they said the exact same shit. These are women and children that are telegenically dead.
We traveled to Jerusalem to ask him how his administration is responding.
That's the Iranian drone we shot down. It's got a wing here, fixed wing here.
So this was an Iranian drone sent over Golan Heights. You shot it down. They then sent missiles and artillery to attack you on Golan Heights, and then you. So this was the start of everything.
That was it. That was it. And you see it. The center was blown out by our interception, but these are.
Yeah, this was an Israeli drone. Iranian drone that we blew up, which is why we had to murder women and children. Sorry. We had to literally snipe the women and children that were at the fence. Remember, boys, remember when they fucking unironically would say shit like, during 2018, I don't know if you guys were around, but a lot of you weren't. Maybe you weren't paying attention, but like, I remember the justifications for like murdering fucking Palestinians at the fence. One of the justifications was like, they have kites. They're using kites to drop like a Molotov cocktail into like Israeli agriculture. Like they would literally fucking kill people that had kites and were throwing rocks, saying that like, you know, this is the reason why we have to murder every single fucking Palestinian dude, or that they were cutting a fence to get in so they can do murder within the border. Within the Israeli boundaries.
Any 30 months as buff.
Unable to stop flaming kites, Israel moves to choke off Gaza.
The parts that come from the center. And I think it's the first time that we're showing this.
It's the first time.
Yeah.
How do you know it was 100% Iranian?
We know for sure because this is an Iranian drone. You can see pictures of this drone, by the way, in Iran itself. We also have, obviously, the intelligence. We were aware that they were doing this. They had explosives in this drone, too.
You have intelligence that the Revolutionary Guards are moving in other weapons.
Right.
What happens? Does this escalate?
I hope not, because I hope they'll get the message that we're not.
Wasn't this where they made the 2-for-1 merch for sniping pregnant women? Yeah, I think so.
Not going to let them do it.
The day before our meeting, the U.S. officially moved its embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, setting off a massive protest in the Gaza Strip that ended with at least 60 Palestinians dead. Today was a historic day. The embassy opened here in Jerusalem, but yet at the same time there were unprecedented riots in Gaza.
Not riots.
Or
deliberate infiltration attempts.
Not riots. Deliberate infiltration attempts, dude. That's wonderful. Yeah, no. These are terrorists that wanted to infiltrate and fucking threaten the security of Israelis, dude. I mean, Vice kind of sucks, but weren't they like in your house yesterday, 2 days ago? And no, this is Shane Smith's Vice. He's no longer there, and Vice literally has some of the best fucking journalists and some of the worst like bullshit American mainstream media imperialist propaganda at the same time. So it's more complicated than to just say like they're fucking all dog shit across the board all the goddamn time. Like their coverage in Jerusalem, their latest coverage in Jerusalem is wonderful. It was actually really fucking good. We watched it on stream. I don't know if you remember the Vice one. That was really fucking good. That was solid. It featured the struggles of the Palestinians perfectly. It was really fucking good, and you can't shit on that. Then they also collaborate and partner with the Saudi government. And I remember like I never actually watched it on stream, but they were literally doing coverage on like why it's good that Saudi Arabia is doing genocide in Yemen because of all of the because Saudi Arabia cares about the Jews and Christians living in Yemen, and that's why they've created a man-made famine there. Like, it's nuts.
Paid and organized by Hamas.
For 20 years, they didn't open the embassy because they were afraid of violence. And now the embassy was opened and there was violence. So what do you say to the criticism that's coming from around the world?
I think that President Trump did a very important thing.
He fucking, dude, they love Trump in Israel, boys. I mean, come on. Look, I'm sorry, liberal Zionists in here in the chat, like, maybe that conflicts a little bit with your worldview or what the values that you supposedly espouse, but like, you're really gonna tell me that they don't fucking love Donald Trump? Like, and also thought that it was poggers that he moved the embassy to Jerusalem? Like, they fucking do. Like, let's be real. So maybe that conflicts with your worldview a little bit, because like, you absolutely despise Donald Trump. Obviously, if you're a liberal in the West, like, you fucking are supposed to hate. You're supposed to hate Donald Trump. So maybe that comes across a little strange that Donald Trump, the far right reactionary psychopathic bloodthirsty monster that is Bibi Netanyahu, and American evangelicals that are like QAnon supporters and shit, all agree on the same issue that you do. You're fucking progressive in every meaningful capacity, but for some reason, you literally find yourself siding with these psychopathic fascists. I wonder why. Yeah, I know. This is nothing. 71% of Israelis approve of Trump, but his global ratings are mostly negative. I wonder why. 71% of Israelis approve of Donald Trump. Just like I wonder why yesterday another poll came out that like Israel is 69%, I believe, in support of like continuing the bombing campaign on Gaza.
Hassan, what happened to your blue back massage thing? You should bring it back.
Anyway. They named a settlement after Trump called Trump Heights. Israel names illegal Golan settlement after Trump. That's wonderful, dude. Oh, sorry. It wasn't 69. It was 72% of Israelis currently believe that the ceasefire should not have happened and the bombing should have continued. Like a tiny sliver of Israelis believe that the bombing should stop. By the way, I just want to say something, okay? Like, and a similar attitude exists with like Kurds in Turkey, okay? It's not as bad, even though the Turkish government does take action very similar to the Israeli government and has historically taken action against Kurds very similar to the Israeli government, where destroying fucking villages that belong to Kurds, all this other stuff, saying that every fucking Kurd is PKK, or rather justifying it by, doing this sort of thing. And I've talked about this before. But because of that experience that I have from growing up in Turkey, I am uniquely qualified to talk about the issue of Israel from the point of view of someone who kind of understands why Israelis are so fucking reactionary towards Palestinians, because that's literally promoted in every facet of their goddamn lives, from every fucking media outlet, from every fucking from every orifice. You're just like pumped this kind of messaging, okay? And then not only that, but then also bombs explode, like literal bombs explode, and people fucking die. So when you hear that, like the PKK, or which by the way, I don't even agree with the actions of PKK, just for the record. Like, I am not pro PKK in any meaningful capacity. But when you see the actions of Kurdish militant groups, whether it be PKK or something else, when you see them blow up a fucking bomb in a crowded area and murder a bunch of civilians, okay, when the warfare moves beyond like military members versus armed liberation groups, okay, when you see that, you're like, okay, fuck these guys, like they fuck them, and do whatever you can to suppress them violently, which is precisely why Israelis feel this way. A lot of Israelis feel the way that they do about Palestinians, because it's impossible to fucking escape that propaganda from your entire life, for your entire life that you've been fucking pumped full of, okay? And not only that, but also on top of that, there is the bombings that happen that freak people the fuck out. Anyway. Stories about anti-Semitic attacks have flooded my timeline, always from pro-Israel people and outlets who deny humanity to Palestinians, similar to how alt-right uses 1350 to justify police brutality. Anyway. Comparing the Turkey versus PKK situation with Israel versus Palestine, it's not the same. I'm already stating that it's not the same, even though there are similarities, like the erasure of any sort of Kurdish identity in a deliberate attempt by the government to forcibly assimilate Kurdish people into Turkish culture. The only difference in that situation, and a significant difference in that situation, is that the Kurdish uprisings or the Kurdish movements, and I hate to say this because a lot of fucking Kurds are in here and a lot of fucking Western lefties are in here that are going to maul super hard, but they're backed by Western nations and the American government, backed into purposely fucking revolting so that they can be used as a cudgel or as a fucking militant group against any Middle Eastern nation that in that moment that they can use against. That shit does not happen with fucking Palestinians. Palestinians are not working alongside Western nations against Israel. That's not a hot take. I mean, I think some people get fucking mad because they see, like, you know, women Peshmerga and they jerk off to like the idea, this notion that there is like an Ankam Kurdistan Rojava, when that is not ever going to happen. Unfortunately, it would be sick if it could, but I don't think it's ever going to happen. And the reason why it's never going to happen is because the only Kurdish nation state formation in that region will be a puppet state for Western imperialists. That's the reality. You do differentiate between the PKK and YPG and SDF? Yes, I do. You're leaving out of context. They only want to stop once they get the bodies of the 2 killed IDF soldiers back. Still terrible, but it's not like they want to keep bombing Gaza for its own sake. What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking? You're fucking insane. I know that a lot of Kurds support Israel. Really? I would be very surprised. Anyway, have you listened to Robert Evans' The Woman's War, though? No, and I don't. No, motherfucker. And no, no, that. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that right now, okay? Some of that shit is literally directly fucking CIA girl boss power propaganda, okay? I'm sorry. Turks lying about Kurds supporting Israel to justify their oppression. It wouldn't surprise me if a lot of Western-facing Kurds supported Israel because they want to build a fucking nation state. It's one of the largest. It is literally one of the largest nationless ethnic groups out there. I think 35 million Kurds live in both. 35 million Kurds live in both Turkey, Syria, Iran, Iraq, and all around this area, and they have no nation, and they historically have been literally fucking oppressed nonstop by every other fucking country that they happen to be within the borders of. But separatist Kurds in Turkey supporting Israel makes sense because they want Western help. They want there to be an Israeli-style Kurdish nation state. So while the intentions are honest and justifiable to build an autonomous nation state for themselves, doing it through Western imperialist expansion is, as we are seeing right before our eyes, the worst fucking way to do it. Anyway.
Love you, honey. Come here, give me a kiss, smooch.
Rojava doesn't even have US support anymore, though? Yeah, no shit. Of course it doesn't. Because if you ever thought that there was going to be a fucking legitimate communist formation that was Kurdish, you're fucking delusional, dude. That is the most insane. Like, literally talk to any Kurd, and they will tell you that they themselves know that their conditional allegiance with America and Western powers is just for as long as they can fucking keep, like, fighting in the region and continuously destabilizing the region and, like, pushing back against, like, Turkish military actions and shit like that. Okay? Like, even they know, but they have no other option. So they're like, yeah, fuck it. I'll take the guns and I'll take the training. Fuck it. Yeah. But if you consider, that to be like, I mean, I don't know how to describe it. Isn't Kurdish Iraq pretty autonomous? Yeah, thanks to, again, American intervention. Anyway, not in Turkey though. Remember, Turkey's in NATO, and it is mostly in Iraq, Syria, because the U.S. wouldn't risk backing PKK. Yes, the PKK is considered a terror organization by international authorities because of Turkey's status in NATO and important geopolitical condition against Russia as a consequence of its, again, NATO status. So, of course, there's a distinction that people make between PKK and YPG, which is one I make as well. But regardless, it doesn't even fucking matter, okay? Geographically, the Kurdistan region has a lot of untapped oil, hence the Western influence. Yes, that's another reason for it as well. I don't think they're considered a terrorist organization anymore. No, they are still considered a terrorist organization, but they are no longer. I mean, they're not real. They're like a fucking boogeyman at this point. Anyway, so the reason why I mentioned this is so that, like, I wanted to fucking help you understand, like, the region is very, very difficult to fucking explain without, like, literally living in it, okay? There is, like, 100 different factions with different flavors and different parties, different ideologies, different goals. Enemies fucking get together and fight other enemies. Like, it is very difficult to fucking explain. It is complex in that respect, okay? And then this is happening, and then America or Western regions or Western nations are like, fuck that, we're getting involved because there's oil there. There's fucking, mineral supplies that we could take advantage of. So, we're going to go in there and do our own thing. So, like, obviously, it is difficult to explain from that point of view. And that's why I, like, literally talk about, that's why I wanted to briefly talk about, like, I get why so many Israelis are so fucking insane and so reactionary as it pertains to Palestinian existence. Okay. All right.
Oil omega.
I know where this is coming from. It's still unjustifiable regardless. And I say this is a Turkish person against the treatment, mistreatment, and displacement of Kurds within Turkish boundaries. Everybody, including you, has imperfect information that is biased by lots of propaganda about the region. Dog, I mean, you're talking to someone who literally fucking grew up in the like, if you're saying my information is biased about Turkey, then I don't know what else to fucking tell you when, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's not biased information beyond, like, the peak of whatever kind of fucking information you can get. Aren't Turks and Kurds virtually the same looking and culturally extremely similar? Why is there so much disdain between them? Part of it is religious conflict. Other is because there is no fucking... They're like... Kurds got a shitty deal when a lot of the fucking nationalist uprisings were happening in the end of the Ottoman Empire, where they weren't able to secure like a Western fucking deal to build out their own nation state. Okay? Anyway. Do you think that Hamas is just a placeholder that Israel used in order to bomb the shit out of Palestine because America has invested like $500 million to make Al-Qaeda videos, by the way, much lower from Saudi Arabia? No. I don't think Hamas is a placeholder. I think Hamas's existence justifies Israeli bombing campaigns, which is great for Netanyahu and other reactionaries that want to fucking wipe out the entirety of the Gaza Strip and keep eliminating as many Palestinians as possible, you know, population control. Having said that, however, no. Hamas's military arm, and I use these very carefully, okay? Hamas's military arm is unfortunately the only fucking group that currently is able to retaliate towards Israel's actions against Palestinians. Which is why whenever you fucking hear Palestinian leaders that isn't a part of the Palestinian Authority, Mahmoud Abbas and the Palestinian Authority in the West Bank is like is seen as like a puppet state for, or a puppet government for Israeli values for the most part, and a lot of Palestinians are super critical of Abbas. Okay, but the reason why this is the only thing they have, and it's why I report on it the way that I do, is because they have no other option. There is nothing. No one fucking fights back against Israel.
George
Palestinians, both the millions of Palestinians that are living in diaspora and the millions of Palestinians living on historic Palestinian soil, whether it is like the occupied West Bank or the Gaza open air prison, feel as though no one is on their side. There is not a single person. The Gulf states are not on their fucking side. So the only people that the only individuals they can rely on is Hamas to push back. Because if you recognize that every state and every people has a right to defend themselves in an armed effort as well, then, and if you see that as a justification for why IDF takes the violent actions that they do, then you have to fucking admit what Hamas is doing is exactly the same, if not even more justifiable. And the reason for why it would be more justifiable is because they have nothing. They're throwing fucking man-made rockets into Israel, and Israel retaliates by very purposely and very deliberately bombing the shit out of the Gaza Strip that they already control in its entirety. These are desperate people, okay? Sorry, it's just the truth. They're fucking desperate. They have nothing. They have no one that pushes back for them. They have no one that makes anyone pay a price for fucking brutalizing them. Do you see what I'm saying? Zionist chat gonna attack you? Doesn't making Palestinians effectively stateless violate their international rights? There are enough people on the side of the Palestinians. Only country to keep them under occupation is the U.S. If the U.S. stopped supporting Israel, Palestine would be free. That's literally not true. That's not true. Like what? You think fucking France or Germany or the UK actually fucking support Palestinians? No, they don't. Like, if they did, or Italy, they wouldn't be giving fucking Israel more weapons, dude. Canada? You think Canada fucking supports Palestinians? No. This situation is the same as like the designation or the distinction between like liberal Zionists and hyper-reactionary Zionists, okay? Both of them do not want Palestinians to fucking exist in that region. One of them is like more tolerant and more ethical in the way that they want to deal with the genocide or oppression or occupation. The other is just straight up like they're dogs. They need to be cleansed. They need to be ethnically cleansed. Please ethnically cleanse them immediately. Okay? Like, so Canada's support is like, yeah, Israel, please stop your occupation. Come on. Also, here are some guns and weapons and bombs. Maybe they should organize against Hamas, you know, like you advocate Americans do. Come on, homie. Dude, I cannot begin to imagine how fucking privileged of a take that is. Like, organize against Hamas, how? With what, dude? Also, why would they? How do you not see this? Like, I'm trying to describe the situation to you. If you want Palestinians to be the fucking woke, tolerant, civilized society that you think the Western civilizations are, even though we are not civilized in any meaningful capacity, we're horrible monsters, okay? Then stop bombing them and allow them to have fucking elections and shit and end the occupation. If you're being starved, if your communications in every capacity is being controlled by your occupying force, if 90% of your water is unclean and impossible, if the UN has declared your area, the Gaza Strip, to be uninhabitable by 2020 before the fucking Israeli bombing campaign started, then how do you expect these motherfuckers to be like, oh, okay, well, I know that we're being bombed right now, but we should probably fucking, you know, build a town hall, which will be bombed into oblivion by Israel tomorrow, where we get together and decide to have a fair and free election. Like, that's crazy. They are under a blockade. They have no airports. They have no air traffic. They have a waterfront. Like, they have literally access to the water, which they can't even fucking reach because Israel controls it. There's a blockade. There is nothing. They have nothing. So you can fucking woke scold Hamas and wag your finger all day, as I do from time to time as well. They are a fucking Islamist fundamentalist, reactionary group of fucking weirdos. Obviously, they're not allies of mine in any meaningful capacity, but I also recognize why Palestinians that have been subjected to untold amounts of cruelty would probably be like, well, we have no one. We have nothing. We have no way to do elections. We have nothing. Even if they were doing an election and they elected Hamas, I would still be understanding of it because that's the only form of a standing army that they have. And that was deliberate. And that's precisely why, in order to paint them as the perfect fucking villain, Israel backed Hamas's formation in 1987. Israeli generals did, as a matter of public record. Okay? So I get so mad whenever people are like, why are Iranians so not woke? It's like, motherfucker, why do you think? Look at history. What happened in Iran? Okay? Well, what happened in Iran is British Petroleum had oil refineries and they were exploiting the fuck out of the ripe natural resources in Iran, and the democratically socialist government decided, no, we need to take these oil refineries and actually, you know, use this ripe natural resource for ourselves and our own people. Guess what? That was unacceptable and a big no-no. And ever since then, with more and more anti-imperialist and anti-Western takes getting conflated by brutal, reactionary, horrifying fucking fundamentalist Islamist dipshits, using that as an opportunity to get fucking elected, the Iranian government has become more and more intolerant. You are not doing any favors for Gaza. You're just running propaganda. You are always welcome to come here and study and support from here. Yeah, so I can get fucking murdered? No thanks, dude. And I don't mean in Gaza. I mean in fucking Israel.
7 months hassle.
Motherfucker, I don't even go to Turkey. You really think I'm going to go to Israel, dude? Are you crazy? Catch a fucking stray from some like psychopathic religious nut, far right Zionist dude that is like ultra nationalist who just fucking murders me and then goes to prison for like 3 years and is out in 2 on good behavior. Yeah, dude, let me do that.
As buff.
Tayyip gidince geleceğim mi? Evet.